our service level, traction from our service level within our response area, and number two, how we paying for it.
Mm-hmm. And that would be a great thing to look at. How is Deer Grove going to be reimbursed for the time and the vehicle usage and the supplies, and the staffing?
Right.
So it seems like it's in the infant stages and they're having a discussion about it.
I have to admit, I still don't understand what's going on in Cambridge after we spent so much time on that. And they were pushing for that study and everything else, and all of a sudden, without any notice, they went a different direction.
It may circle around.
Yeah, but we're not gonna do it for nothing.
No.
And we're not gonna detract from our service to our
Right.
district.
Right, to the people of the district, you have to be true to them first.
Right. So those would be the two things to bring back, I would think would be our concerns. I'm not saying I'm opposed to it, but.
Those are things that need to be answered.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And she may be able to get that information, or at least what they're thinking. It sounds like they had a great meeting with the school resource officer, and they're working on some bleeding control kits for the schools. But hopefully there's the opportunity for the big buying discount with quantities, and that would sure be a nice thing if the school could get more than they had planned for based on their budget. That in today's world, unfortunately, that's important to have that in all of the classrooms. And then they're working with the fire department with the Summit Credit Union safety team. What is their plans once as that building gets more and more completed, they'll have a safety plan at the building should something happen there, or just a worker have a health issue that, where would we pick them up and have a plan, and what is their safety team, what do they do? We do a lot with Hydrate, and they have a great way of directing us in to the people, so we know who to look for. So that's a nice plan. She talked about training. Let's see. That they've been working on a remediation program. We have been having officers meetings to review tasks and progress and look for new areas to focus on. She does have a LTE recruitment program, or a tentative assessment date in December. She's trying to finalize that. The department was able to partner with Forward Pharmacy for some flu shots again this year, and I know myself went, and it was very smooth and really nice, and I'm very appreciative that we could do that and head that up. It made it a lot easier. Let's see, she talked about training. We had 19 people come to our monthly training in September. It was Randy Kratz, and his topic was psychological first aid, and it was more about ourselves and the team and the crews and some of the things we see and go through, and how we can help each other and other resources to look for. I definitely enjoyed it, and it gave me some ways to help my partner or look for my brothers and sisters around me. We're all a family in here, and we see a lot of bad stuff, so it was nice to be able to have some more tools to talk about things, or not talk about things, but just sit there and go through it and have somebody understand it.
Who's Randy with?
Randy Kratz.
Yeah.
He's part of the Dane County's critical incident briefing.
Oh.
He's one of their team members.
So it was nice, and it was pretty timely considering what had happened in, was it Middleton earlier? So it was timely for that. Thank goodness we haven't had a lot of those where we even need to call in for his services. There was some updating, there is some upcoming trainings, and some of them have already happened. So there's a lot of opportunity. I think people are taking advantage of it from the people I've talked to. I know I was able to go to the documentation training, and I think they had a pretty good house full at the ACLS renewal. I believe that was yesterday. And then the training center, although they didn't teach any classes in September, they have quite a few classes scheduled, and Jerry will tell you, because I think he's been doing most of them, and Mandy also, for October. It seems to be October is the big month to recertify quite a few people. Public relations, October is a big month for that. And you have a whole list of places that they have been to and are planning to go to. A lot of these are little kiddo things, but it is extremely important when we go on scene to a school or a grandparent's house or even a parent's house. It's nice to not have to deal with the children. They're not afraid of us or the truck, and they're willing to come with us and have some knowledge of seeing the ambulance. It sounds like they also participated in tomorrow's Hope Golf outing, and then we were able to staff 3 vehicles to cover the UW Oncology bike ride, which I think is pretty exciting, because that's all over. You're seen all over the place, and I know those riders really appreciate and have some comfort that there's people there, and I believe Lieutenant Mullen had his crew at the first aid or at the park where they check in, so that's very nice. Unfortunately, they had to attend an active shooter community preparedness training, but at least it's just a training, and I'm glad we're doing it. Community paramedic, there was the usual regularly scheduled events. We were even able to reschedule one that was missed due to a call come on, and the people are quite happy. I know when I'm able to go and I meet the people at each community, they're so thankful and happy to see us and like to talk to us, and grateful that we can come there and help them with their BPs, and we even get to recognize some of them and know, oh, you look good, or ooh, you better go to the doctor. So that's kind of nice too. CQI, they did have a meeting and reviewed some run reports on fall-related calls and compiled some data. And the vehicles are running well. All 4 of them were out and about. They have all had their oil changed and filters changed, and there's 1 issue yet on 80, or 2 issues yet on 80, but those should be resolved on the 29th of this month. It's going back in for service. On that air horn that has been intermittent problem in the liquid suspension. And the Horton, we're going to use that more for, at least the plan has been for Deerfield football games, although I don't know how many are left.
No,
Okay.
we're done with that.
You're done.
And
that was
we've
easy.
also been putting 81 in service when 7, 8, or 80 go to,
Scheduled
when they
service.
go in for scheduled
Yeah.
service, then 81 will be used to get out and run around. I did take it for a ride, drove it around, it was running marvelous.
Good
So-
to know.
I'm glad I can tell you that and not that it needs more work. I did that kind of fast. I hope it was sufficient. Are there any questions about?
Do you know how many LTEs have made contact?
I don't know. She may have a list of just interested
Yeah.
people from the website. And I don't know that she has actually put out a notice that they're gonna have it. She
Okay.
has asked the staff if the date in December that she has in there is going to be available, so I think she's just waiting to make sure she's gonna have enough people to handle it.
Okay.
But it usually goes pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And I think part of it was, hey, is there anybody that you know that would mesh with our group that you would like to have an opportunity to
Come.
have a tryout, if you
Sure.
will, to come and work for us.
Yeah.
And I know they're getting quite a few people that are interested in the volunteer part, and there's, sometimes volunteers move to LTEs once they get their accreditation and the
Yeah.
things that they need. But to answer your specific question, I don't know how many people.
Okay. All right.
Quick update on the fire grant, that is complete. I'll get you guys a copy of the completed application as soon as I can. I'm waiting on final numbers from Time Event to put in there. Fire grants help actually reviewed it for free. They have a contract with Time Event, so we can send it to them and they'll review the narratives and all that. They give some suggestions and some feedback to help make the narrative better, which this is gonna be its 3rd iteration going in. I just sent it in today. It's due on next Friday. But we're actually all set.
And they award that next year?
It'll be, they moved it up, so they actually opened
Oh.
up the grant earlier than anticipated, which is why we kind of were like, oh, wait a second, the grant's open all of a sudden. So it usually doesn't open up until quite a bit later in the year, but
Yeah.
apparently the federal government wants to spend some money. So they opened it up early. The first award should go out, I think, in February, so early in the year. This particular project with the exhaust system is considered a a high priority for FEMA. So I would expect we'd probably get funded fairly early if we're going to. Project costs to be about max of 105,000. They've capped the exhaust systems at 100,000 now, and then our share of 5,000 would be on top of that. So our share is $5,000 for the grant. I did put in the grant for them to consider looking at us for economic hardship, and they may waive that by the $5,000. They may not, they may, but they can at least look at it and see.
Sure.
So,
If you don't ask, you'll never get.
exactly, it'll always be no unless you ask.
Yeah.
But Senator Baldwin, Representative Pocan, both have gotten back with their letters to me already, so they'll be going with the submittal. They were very happy to provide that. So hopefully, that will also encompass tearing out the existing system. They'll tear all that stuff out.
Replace everything.
And replace it with new. And I believe we're budgeted for 10 vehicles up there is what we budgeted for, which is the max you can do. So.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
Sounds good.
Moving on, any correspondence?
There was no correspondence.
Okay.
I was actually going to print those letters off from the representative, but I forgot something.
Update on contracting emergency medical services to the town of Pleasant Springs.
As far as I stopped down there last Friday and talked to Maria, and she said there have been no concerns, it's just been in the attorney's hands and hasn't been sent back yet, so.
And the town of Pleasant Springs had their board meeting on,
Tuesday.
yeah, and they said the attorney still hadn't gotten back to them.
Yeah, so that's the update I got to, is it's still at the attorney, so.
No attorney.
Still back on the agenda for the next one.
Yeah. Okay.
Attorney.
Yeah, they might need a new one, who knows? Discuss and consider LifeQuest billing rates.
The only thing I can say is LifeQuest gave this survey, but it's not surveyed by any other departments in Dane County. I take it that's because LifeQuest probably does not service like Middleton or Fitzrona or Madison or.
Correct.
So I'm just curious how this lines up in.
They sort of go with, don't they sort of
Dane
go
County.
with some pretty
Anecdotally,
close to ours, yeah.
I'll put that anecdotally. The rates that we're charging are less than what Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Fitchburg charge, anecdotally. They charge more than that. I know the city charges more than that. And I'm looking at the sheet with the red outlines, page, okay, that page numbers.
This one?
That one, yeah. So those are our current rates, yeah, we're still on the low side in Dane County, which we've always been content to be halfway or below.
Yeah, we don't want, that's what I say, we don't want to be the highest.
Yeah, we're probably one of the lower paramedic services in Dane County.
Still may not be a bad idea to raise some rates.
That's what we can do.
Generate more revenue and cover more cost.
No, I think, and hopefully when LifeQuest is doing this, they're also relating this to
Yeah.
what Medicare and how they see payments coming in.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, you can ask for the sky and then, no one's gonna pay for it, or insurance won't cover it, so I take it that don't wanna assume anything, but hopefully they're taking those trends into factor too when they make these recommendations. Because there's really not a lot of change here.
No, man, it's typically $100 here or there, what we've been raising.
Yep.
But you said Lisa had something about the mileage rate?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
They
non-resident, that's
2050.
2050.
Lisa says we should charge at least 21.
Yeah, I would actually probably be more comfortable with 22. We're putting a lot of miles on these trucks with the interstate calls.
That's it, yeah, at least 2150 to 20.
And most of those miles are unloaded miles, which means we've got to charge for what loaded miles we can.
Well, and that's it, and there's been a number of calls, you guys have been out there, and your first ambulance in, and you end up with no patient. So, no patient,
Yep.
no revenue.
Right.
So, I think 22 isn't bad.
22?
I go 22.
Are you all right with the ALS2 base rate suggestions?
Yeah. ALS2 is generally your really bad couples.
Yeah.
Those base rates can
Okay.
be consistently higher.
And raise the mileage to 19 and 22.
One thing that I would recommend, and you're welcome to leave it on the table as you like, I would recommend raising the oxygen to 85 instead of leaving it at 75. That's one of the few procedures that we do on probably about 80% of our patients. Oxygen's easily our number one medication. It's been at 75 for at least 3 years now.
Average is 95.
Yeah. So I'd at least raise it to 85. That's an extra $10 that we get. That's one of the most paid items that we actually can bill for.
Okay.
But the rest of the actual base rates look pretty consistent.
85 on the oxygen? Good enough.
He's recommending 22.
Any other changes?
Oxygen.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the new rates with a couple of changes. Under mileage non-resident, go to $22.
Okay,
And the oxygen, go to $85 on that.
okay,
All else, as recommended changes as is.
okay.
Seconded.
And the question is the effective date. When do you want to make it?
Effective immediately or?
Immediately is
I
what
would say,
she was
as
saying.
soon as Lisa can get back here to sign it, basically.
As fast as humanly possible.
Well, we say November 1st.
Yeah,
No,
November
no
1st.
later than?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No later than
She's not gonna be
November
back till,
1st?
what, the
Yeah,
28th.
yep. No later than November
Yeah.
1st, yep.
Just put a date down.
All right, there was a motion and a second. Going with the rate suggested, other than the mileage non-resident is 22, and oxygen will go to 85. Adopt these rates no later than 11/1. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. So, and you saw the estimated budget future increase is $15,000, so,
Well, slightly more with our changes. so.
yeah, you're gonna get at least that.
Great.
Should. All right, moving on, update on collective bargaining agreement. I signed it tonight. I guess the union passed it
Ratified it on Monday.
Monday.
Deerfield passed it at their last board meeting.
We did too.
Wonderful, thank you.
So we just have to get your signatures.
Not mine. but-
No.
We'll find the fellow that needs to sign that.
Yeah. Okay, update on the 2019 Deer Grove EMS budget. Town of Cottage Grove passed it.
Village of Deerfield passed it.
Village of Cottage Grove, we had a discussion, we had no vote on it at this point.
Don't need one now.
No?
Don't need one now.
No, well, I understand that.
Yeah. But
Troy, is there anything else
So-
that we need to?
Been the nicest
provide
budget
you
we've
guys?
seen.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It wasn't listed as a discussing the Skidder, so I'm not sure why that was.
Okay, if there's anything else, we,
My understanding is Matt and village president were over
yeah, they met
talking
with
to
Lisa.
Lisa, so.
Yeah. But if there's anything else you need beyond
Yeah.
that, then
Okay.
let us know.
So we're good for 19.
Yeah.
All right, then we're down to consider adopt a motion to move to closed session per Wisconsin statute 19.85, parent 1, parent C, for the purpose of considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, the chief hiring committee recommendation regarding chief candidates. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion and a second, roll call, Troy, Christine, Chris, aye, Gary.
Aye.
Greg, aye. We're going in closed session.